Hi, Tiba from Wiser Humans, and I wanted to do this short video to talk about a subject that I find really important, and that is how to respond to criticism and negative feedback. So I think we can all agree that none of us enjoy getting negative feedback or criticism from other people, right? It's actually felt as quite painful to us in the same way that physical pain is painful. It lights up the same region in the brain as physical pain to feel like we're being rejected or we're being criticized by other people. And this is especially the case when we have a history of having been very criticized as children, or by teachers or by other kids or by parents. So it can really feel super painful when we get this kind of negative feedback, this kind of criticism from other people. And I find that what we tend to do, being human, is go into one of two extremes. Either we think, this person has no idea what they're saying, it's such a lie what they're saying. I'm great at what I do. There's no truth to it, and just kind of throwing the whole thing away and being in a kind of almost denial. And then the other extreme is more about thinking, like taking it all as if it were the truth and thinking, oh my God, this is like so true. This is exactly what I think of myself. It must be because there's something wrong with me. It's because I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. And going to this almost a shame spiral, which we feed ourselves by going over that same feedback over and over and thinking that this is the truth about me. And so if you think about these two extremes, neither one is probably very honest. Neither one is probably the whole story, right? Because things are rarely so black and white in real life. And yet we tend to be more comfortable in the extremes because there's a clarity to being in the extremes. And so something that I think can be really helpful is to take a step back. So if you see the two extremes, you can go there to the two extremes, but then take a step back and see, okay, well, what is something somewhere in the middle? And something in the middle for me is about, okay, what do I take from this feedback? What do I take from this criticism? What feels true for me about what this person has told me? And to be really honest about that in a way that feels almost brutally honest, not in a self-pitying, victimizing kind of way of, oh, it's all my fault, I'm a horrible person, but not taking any of it either. In a sort of very honest with myself, what would I tell a friend kind of approach, and being really honest about, okay, yeah, so there was some truth to what they said about this. It's true that I could have done better, or it's true that I wasn't at my best that day, and I might have hurt this person, or whatever it is. But being able to take what feels right and what resonates, if I'm being really honest with myself, from that person's feedback. And then the second part is, what do I give back to them? What doesn't actually resonate with me? What doesn't feel true about me? And maybe says more about them than it does about me, because a lot of what people say to us and about us is often a reflection of their own experience and their own perception, and not so much to do with us anyway. And so being able to give that back to them is a really helpful thing as well. And so it's almost like we're sifting through this feedback, this criticism, and taking a step back from it and realizing, okay, I will take this feels true, I will own that, maybe I'll use that information to do things better or differently next time and learn from it, without beating myself up, because that's never really useful, and then giving back the parts that don't feel right to us. And that can be a way of also taking back our own power and feeling like I don't need to just be influenced by what other people are saying or thinking about me. I can learn from it, I can be open to it, but still from a place of standing in my own strength and my own power, having my own back, and being able to take criticism with grace, but not taking it without some kind of filter and discernment as well.